And apart from getting jobs at Rise, it is still the case after all of these years of doing those reports that most of them are still doing elementary jobs. And when I spoke to the parents, etc., they talked about their own employment being a big hindrance for taking care of their children. And that is where they wish they could get more support. But I'm concerned about skills development for the majority. I understand the minority have moved up, but the majority in terms of the skills training that say Heart offers, do you find it sufficiently transformative? That's one thing. Is there something more that Rise would like to do in this area? And what are the obstacles to skills development and job creation and job attainment and all of that? That is probably the biggest drawback that I can see from the evaluation. I just wonder what your thoughts were on that. And I mean, you remember our focus group when I'm talking about the barbering and the whatsoever, and the fact that some of these skills keep people at the same social level, right? And when what people want is to be able to transcend their social class and to move up. So I'm just wondering if you were to design a transformative skills training program, is that something that Rise wants to do? That's one thing. But if you were to design one, what would it look like and what would you need to do that?
Last year I heard about up by UTech, they have this thing called incubator, something like that, entrepreneurial hub. I think something like that, students can learn to basically manage their own business, learn about what business is, getting the skills about starting your own business, what's the good idea to start a business and stuff like that. I think something in that way. Yeah, because I think that would help them to move more higher and the sky is a limit after.
Anybody else in terms of ideas? Because Rise doesn't really do skills development, right? Is that correct? Or do you? But that's something that didn't come out very in the evaluation. Many people said that they weren't doing any skills development with Rise. And then when they registered their occupation, as I said, apart from saying I'm training with Rise or doing with Rise, it was the same type of occupation that you would see from the STC report, and therefore I just wondered why that is. But anyway, let's answer the question. Well, how did you make that transition? How did Rise help you to make that transition in terms of skills? You know, to boost your skills? Yeah.
Well, I would say I'm more of an artistic person, and in school I normally dabble in art, but that's minor art. I know with the skills like drawing and stuff like that, because building here and there. But after I left school, I kind of put down art for a while, the artistic for a while. I do that with little banners, posters, stuff like that. But then being a part of the Rise program, some little projects that I did, kind of enhance a little bit of my artistry. Like presently we had the green space project last year. We to use recycled materials and make other things out of them, and to just throw them away. And some of the tires really never got to fit past and I saw some birds outside. Those are actually little results from the training that we got at Rise, because I never actually knew that we could have cut tires on this level. We actually got the training and saw that they did it, and I tried it, liked it, and we started adding a little extra to it. Kind of build what the artistry said, kind of enhance my little feeling that I had dormant for a while, and seeing that pushing, I want to actually have a business going out of it and actually going well so far. So.
I'm wondering if when we said skills development, people thought of the traditional skills.
Yes, I think so.
I think that's probably what happened. Yeah, I think that's what they thought.
When I really know you, when I really gravitate to you, so it was like a Thursday evening, used to go to John Mills, and that day, whenever I went to school, so I hung out on the corner about 3 o'clock, school hung over, so at the outside I go and chill and I go to school very fast. So I was there sitting, and Sean McGregor approached me and come sit down next to me, and I was like, come on, you start. And the man said, good evening, and I said, good evening. I turned my back and even and hit the side. You see me? You know, Garrison youth, I'm not really take check.
I know.
So, tell you, and he talk to me, and he say, I'm going to have one evening session over there. So, me and my friend them was there still. And They asked me if I would have loved to join it. So he give me a piece of paper, could read, you know. Could read, I could read. Give me a paper and I write the name. Must be I write the name. Give me a paper and I write the name. So he might go call me. I say, oh, he might go call me. Eventually, he called me the following week, that is the Monday. And the class was going to start. And a Tuesday was going to start. Get the place and I went over there and sit down. I was having a conversation talking about where to introduce yourself and start introduce myself and feel comfortable. It take like 4 years before Rise could have changed me. 4 years.
Why did it take that long?
4 years. Except from my uncle dead, I just decided to say, yo, 2003. I just say, yo, I'm going to.
He was killed.
Yeah. He was the breadwinner of my family.
He was the breadwinner?
Yeah. So from him dead, say, yo, I'm going to.
What about your father?
Basically, my father was here and about my father. You know, my father
was
really
your father,
tight,
your
but
father?
you know, my father is a just calm person and easy. But my grandfather and my grandmother had Rise play a big role in my life.
That's one thing we found from the evaluation. That when we asked them who they trusted, Rise was on par with their parents. And that was quite significant. How old was you then? How old were you? I said you were 2, but how old were you?
2003, I was 14.
You were 14.
14.
What about you, Ern? Since I mentioned you, I just want to tell me about before Rise and
honestly, for me and Rise, where in my life I met Rise, nowhere near where my home is, far from my home, where I'm straight from my home, par with some set of youth where Garrison, party, you know, them look away there. So leave from my house, go around to for them side, girl, go around the side, hang out, them look away there. Go over the school, I evening time play ball. I would see them go over there one evening and see some group of people over there. Say them name Addiction Alert and them I hear them. There's some youth program and stuff. So I ask them what is it like and them I explain to you and thing. But really and truly after them explain to you, evening time we just go there to play ball. Actually I say them have food issue and things. So I say, well, can I eat something before actually play ball? So we come there, get the food, start with some nice young people and thing and start go there because of girl, fun, food, cut off ball game and thing and there. Talk to you, taking little lesson, ask who want to be, friend them. I always want to be a chef, friend them there want to be Dan, youngster. Or as I say, me the chef and whatever. So when every time we on the ends, I always cook. Me one always a cook. So being around them, go up on the road, hang out all over and stuff. So meet the group, you know the session them, everybody follow the session. Eventually we have some friends where say them want to be done and whatever and thing. Them jump out of the program. Me still in it said still going on and on. While some of friend them, have 2 friends that drop out, died. Some still let here steady in the garrison. But still give them a word of encouragement, still go look for them, still talk to them about them know me not depend for them thing with them depend, but still I try to give them a word of encouragement and I say, oh alright John, you love how you still not the thing and whatever. So from there, being a participant of the group, start reach the age for being the youth group, being the youth group. First promotion I get be a PR of the youth club. Then secondly I be a vice president. Then from the vice president be a president. From the president start work as an assistant. Then from an assistant start be peer educator, share my views with other young peers like myself. Be in the group with honestly what I'm saying, bringing out the session to the young people it's not really the session, it's who's bringing out the session. Because really for me, whenever me I learn, me have to have fun. Just come in and just write and demonstrate, that not make me learn. Me have to have fun. In the meantime, you teach me, you have to break it down now because skate or them look away, them understand. And that they really broadcast them properly and gravitate to that and learn from that and I share my views with other person just the same way as how Rise taught me. So.
Jerome Edwards, he was our facilitator at first. So I had always looked up to Jerome because he was very positive, you know, and I emulated him and there were things that I lacked or I had it but I didn't really see it in me, and he as well as Rise helped to pull out those abilities, right? And so I look up to Jerome as a role model, and then Rise on the other hand gave me the opportunity to be a teaching assistant has helped me in return to be role models to my peers as well as the younger ones in the community. And for me, it has helped to somewhat build me and develop me somewhat. And it helps me to feel important in my community because living in the inner city, it's very hard. You know, the different factors that you have, people, it's a crab in a barrel situation, right? Now to be there, not only the fact that I was able to complete my degree, you know, but seeing the small ones around there calling Auntie Sharona, Auntie Kitty, it helps me.
Auntie Sharona?
Yes,
okay.
That's from being a teaching assistant or the corner company. So it makes me feel good, and Rise has helped to help me to achieve that big part of my life, and I'm thankful.
Alright, Chris Zan. Zan is actually my biggest role model because being around Zan, things that I can't, before I know that I can do it, Zan make me know say, yeah, you can do it. So being a part of Rise among Zan, I know what I'm capable of. Rise can't afford to lose Zan.
Used to those treatment. But Zana taught me a lot personally, and being my club advisor, I was really shy, very a shy person, and my first encounter with Rise was I got a call to say that they wanted me to be an assistant teacher. I don't know I was going to work that out with being so shy, but I did it. And thank you all. And I always, wherever I go, I always talk about Rise because honestly, I was grown kind of sheltered, didn't know places, and I can say Rise took me to many.
I can really put a test because people say that I'm young and I don't know my age and I don't act my age. But knowing your experience that you have, when they say that you feel kind of important, you know, getting a call so that you have this meeting to attend or you have this session that they would like you to attend, and being in the club and getting the position of coming down here, interacting with both your people them and going back to the club and relating information, things that get you involved that, because you know that once you're not involved, you're going to find something to fill that gap. And I guess we then can attest to that being involved in a sense kind of lead us from where we're headed.
Responsibility.
Thank you very much.
That's the thing, because I can see that the principal and everybody was telling Nejita that don't have him in the program and they're going to mash up the program. And Nejita was saying that guys like him really want to work with everything. And trust me, the first time I came down here at Rise and some things that I said, the first of me in my life, sir, the only thing I didn't used to doing was negative things and that type of things that were bad. I didn't know that certain things could have done certain way, and we all Rise come across, and because I already had this leader thing in me, you know, even with my friends, everything that I was in control, our decision was, but I only knew how to make bad decisions at that time.
And Nejita, I'm the youth club now, the president of the youth club, and from there I started to change. And I realized that you can lead, but you don't have to lead in a negative way, you know, you can be a positive leader. And from 2004 until now, that still until right now being a positive leader, because it has even helped all of my friends, because based on my impact, because if I decided to go bad, I know to God, my 20 odd friends would go bad too.
Give and give. But I was wondering in terms of, you know, your own skill level, if you feel competent to deal with some of the cases, and whether you would benefit from more support.
Yes, definitely benefit from more support, because my community fetches, and sometimes I wonder if me and the member of parliament and it's just because the whole rights thing, you know, that's why people feel that that's trust them, people can come to me with certain things. Sometimes I feel some of them even too powerful, even more than me. I used to reach when I came on as a Sean, because Sean immediately I tell Sean's a little situation with somebody, and Sean, you know the referrals and making everything to deal with it. But if we could get extra help, yeah, man, definitely.
In terms of boosting your own technique.
Yeah, for the communities.
Just a quick thing. When we first started the AFO program, I remember the day that for the very first time, it might have been the first week that came in, we did little focus groups. And I remember I had a group of young women. They were about 40 or 30, 40, okay. And when we realized the issues that came up just from these young people and their own lives, what they were dealing with in their own lives, we realized as management that there was no way they could have become peer educators in a short space of time. We needed to put in a fair amount of training. So the same way we put that kind of training into a Sean and a Jeet and a Zan and a Steve, I believe that that kind of training is necessary for these young people to really get to that level. And it's not just maybe a course in psychology or in counseling, but for themselves to deal with their own issues in an effective way.